Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's theory video, we'll be discussing the connections between Palpatine, Snoke, and the High Republic's villain, the DRENGIR. During the events of the sequel trilogy, we the audience are introduced to Supreme Leader Snoke. However, we're given very little exposition on the interesting character. With his time in the main films cut short, we're left wondering more about his existence. Snoke's origins can directly be traced back to the High Republic. Yes, the High Republic that takes place 200 years before the prequel trilogy. Jedi Master Jora Mali and her apprentice stumble upon the Amaxine abandoned space station-like planet. On this planet, they encounter the DRENGIR, a plant-like plague that inhabits the planet. During their time on the planet, they learn that these plants were actually locked away there by none other than the Sith. Since the Jedi have disturbed their prison, the DRENGIR, it's assumed, find some way to escape the planet. You see, one of the things that makes the DRENGIR so powerful is that they're able to break down to smaller forms and find places to grow even after their seeming death. So why does this matter? Well, in the Kylo Ren comic series, it is revealed to us that Snoke actually lives on the same space station planet, though by the time Kylo visits the station to see Snoke for the first time, we see that Snoke himself has complete control over the planet and his surroundings. This control, though, could just be the case of Snoke being on a safe part of the planet, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to assume that Snoke is in total control. So let's skip around again for a quick second. There's a particular portion where the DRENGIR reveal their personal history. In this scene, the DRENGIR speak through Skier as he's possessed, and they say, "Once, the DRENGIR spread across the galaxy, feasting on flesh and bone wherever it was found. The harvest was abundant, the harvest was plentiful. Others saw our power and reaped alongside us, working together for the greatest gain. But nothing lasts forever. Soon they betrayed us, as was their nature, and soon they paid the price. Fearing what they could not kill, they plotted against us. They trapped the first of us within their totems, forcing her to sleep. And while the great progenitor slept, we slept also beneath the ground, until the travelers stumbled upon the progenitor, waking her from her slumber, waking us all." During this little history rundown, the DRENGIR reveal that they were feared and have existed for many years. So feared that the Sith actually locked them away as they saw them as a massive threat that couldn't be controlled. Thus, the station was built by the Sith to actually dampen their abilities and to keep them from spreading to other galaxies. When reading about the DRENGIR so far in the High Republic novels and comics, it's clear that they have no direction but to conquer and consume. However, it is within my belief the DRENGIR do come to realize they must take a final form to control the galaxy, or at least make a stab at doing so. It's within my belief that the DRENGIR actually consume Snoke's previous organic form and slowly begin to inhibit the body, taking over his force abilities, but also forming a type of hive mind where they can execute their final plans. I believe that it is after Palpatine's demise in Return of the Jedi that he decides he must explore new options to not only return to life, but to also establish a vice grip on the galaxy again. Through some way, shape, or form, Palpatine is able to visit the space station or contact the beings on it, and he takes the chance to employ the services of Snoke. I believe that Snoke, as the DRENGIR's new identity, pledges allegiance to the Emperor. As evidenced in the Kylo Ren comic, this is when I believe the DRENGIR go through the transformative period and become Snoke, their new identity. Their mutual deal is that Palpatine will allow Snoke to leave the planet freely, so long as he serves the Emperor for his needs, including cloning experiments. The DRENGIR realize this is their chance to finally escape the planet once again. So in a quick and dirty deal, yes, Palpatine does establish a kind of control over Snoke and the DRENGIR. Palpatine sees Snoke's use as a sort of cover-up during his return to strength, but also a new conduit for cloning. And for Snoke and the DRENGIR, this deal allows him to not only grow in power, but also learn from the Emperor, while establishing a plan to take over the galaxy. So even though on Exegol we see numerous tanks of Snoke, it is true that Snoke is actually indeed an original being that was not simply created in a pod, but rather grown on the Amaxine space station while being trapped away for a century. Guys, what did you think of this theory? Do you think Snoke is the final form of the High Republic's DRENGIR? And who do you think the DRENGIR possessed to become Snoke? There's so many different ways this theory can go, and that's why I'm so excited about it. Guys, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, the Force will be with you, always.